Hello everyone, I hope you all are fine and are doing well. We have completed the 9th chapter, that is ratio and proportion. Let's have a quick recap of the chapter with the help of a mind map. We started the chapter by learning about the meaning of the term ratio. We learned that when we compare two quantities using the method of division, it is called as ratio. A ratio is written as A is to B. We use this symbol to denote ratio. Now there are two terms in the ratio and they are known as, the first term is known as the antecedent and the second term is known as the consequent. Next we moved on to learn how to reduce a ratio in its simplest form. We used the concept of fractions here. First we write the ratio in the form of a fraction. So the first term becomes the numerator and the second term becomes the denominator. We learned how to reduce a fraction to its lowest form. We divide the numerator and the denominator by the HCF. So here we have divided 28 and 35 with the HCF, that is 7. We get 28 divided by 7 is 4 and 35 divided by 7 is 5, which is 4 by 5. Now we will again write the fraction in the form of a ratio, which becomes 4:5. Next we learned about few properties of ratio. Now you can only find the ratio between the quantities of the same kind and then convert them into same unit. Now what do we mean by quantities of the same kind? You can only find the ratio between meter and centimeter, but you cannot find a ratio between kilogram and kiloliter because they are of different kinds. So when you get a quantity like kilometer and meter, we will first convert them into same unit, that is either convert meter into kilometer or convert kilometer into meter, and then you will do your comparison. Next we saw that the order of the terms in the ratio are very much important, which means that A is to B is not equal to B is to A, and a ratio has no unit. Next we learned about equivalent ratios. For example, here we have 2:5. Now here also we will write the ratio in the form of a fraction first, and then we will use the concept of equivalent fractions. That is multiplying the numerator and denominator with the same number, or divide the numerator and the denominator with the same number to find equivalent fractions. So here we have fraction 2/5. Let's multiply with 2. So we get 4/10. So now let's convert this fraction in the form of a ratio 4:10. So we can say that 4:10 is equivalent to 2:5. Now whenever you reduce all your equivalent ratios to its simplest form, you will always get the same base ratio. Next we learned about comparison of ratios. Now when we talk about comparison of ratios, here also we will link ratios with fractions. We will first convert the given ratios in the form of a fraction. So here we have the ratio 5:6 and 4:7. We will convert them in the form of a fraction. So this becomes 5/6 and 4:7 becomes 4/7. Now remember how you used to convert fractions into like fractions. We used to find the LCM of the denominators. So here we have the denominator 6 and 7. We will find the LCM, that is 42. So now you will convert your fractions into equivalent fractions with the denominator 42. So 5/6 you will multiply with 7. So this becomes 5 into 7 is 35, and here you have the denominator 42. Similarly you will do 4/7. You will multiply this with 6. So you get 4 into 6 is 24, and then 7 into 6 is 42. You got your like fractions 35/42 and 24/42. When the denominators are same, we compare the numerators. We know that 35 is greater than 24, which means 35/42 is a greater fraction than 24/42, which further implies that the base ratio, that is 5:6, is greater than 4:7. 7. So when we talk about comparison of ratios, you only have to follow the same method of comparison of fractions. Now where we use this concept, we use the concept of comparison of ratios when you have to arrange certain number of ratios in ascending and descending order. Now after the first half of the topic, we move to the second half, that is proportion. We learned that we can only find proportion when two ratios are equal. So here when A is to B is equal to the second ratio C is to D, we can say that A is to B is proportionate to C is to D. Now here you can see there are four terms. Now there is a name given to all these four terms of a proportion. The first and the last term is known as the extreme terms. The second and the third term are known as the mean terms. Now we say that a ratio is in a proportion when product of your extremes is equal to the product of your means, or we can also say that when the product of your extremes is equal to the product of your means, the two ratios are always in proportion. Now after proportion, we move to the last topic, that was unitary method. We learned that unitary method is all about finding the value of one quantity and then we find the value of the desired quantity. Now let's look at an example for unitary method. So here is the question. Question is, an aeroplane flies 4,000 kilometers in 5 hours. How far does it travel in 8 hours? So this is a question for unitary method. So since it is a word problem, we will be writing the statements first. So the first statement will be distance covered in 5 hours, that is equal to 4,000 kilometers. Then we need to find the distance traveled in 1 hour. Then only you will be able to find the distance traveled in 8 hours. So when you have to find the distance covered in 1 hour, we will divide 4,000 with 5. So 4,000 divided by 5, you can leave it as a fraction or you can also simplify it. So 4,000 divided by 5 is 800 kilometers. Now we have to find the distance covered in 8 hours. So we can multiply 800 with 8. Or you can, if you are writing your fraction form as it is, so it will be 4,000 upon 5 into 8. So after writing the fraction, then you will be simplifying for this method. So here it will be 4 into 8 is 32. And then we will add our zeros as it is, divide with 5. Then when you simplify, it becomes 5 6 are 30, 5 4s are 20, and then 2 zeros, and then kilometers. So this you will get the answer when you are doing the fractional form. Now here if you are directly multiplying it, 8 into 8 gives you 64, and then again 2 zeros. So here also we get the same answer, 6400 kilometers. So first, in a unitary method, we always find the value for 1 and then we find the value for the required quantity. So the distance traveled by the aeroplane in 8 hours is 6,400 kilometers. So students, I hope you have understood the concept of the chapter ratio and proportion and unitary method. Practice the questions which are given in the textbook. I will see you in the next interactive session. Thank you and have a nice day.